gone through. I don't want my children to suffer the way I've suffered. So I want to give my children a better living.
You know, my friend, a lot of people have lost their lives on this route.
Yes.
Can I in any way persuade you?
Don't try. Don't try at all.
You won't go back to Nigeria
at all?
try.
Don't try. Don't try to persuade me, because you are just going to say it, and I don't think I won't hear you.
Osas and his friend abandoned the hills outside Soita later the same evening, telling me they were heading west for Tangier. Europe's barrier builders had complete victory. Tangier was where I headed to, along a coastline where Morocco seems almost to touch the coast of Spain for 100 kilometers. In most of Tangier, you hardly see a black African face. But suddenly, in the Medina, they start appearing. Almost all want to go to Europe.
Most of them are doing this whole journey undercover, so it's difficult for them to allow themselves to be filmed.
They call themselves the comrades, the comrades. They wait here crammed into Tangier's boarding houses. I went to see how they lived.
I'm a refugee, man. Political refugee. Since 1990, I left Nigeria.
Since 1990, 10 years?
10 years now. This year is 2000.
And you're still here in Morocco?
I'm still here in Morocco, still fighting for the same euro.
This is all you have along the journey?
This is all I have. All I have is my life, is my wallet. That is all I have in my life, my wallet, my Bible, because it's the whole.
This is the only kind of meat we can afford in our soup. And it's not as if we even buy it. We go begging for it in the market in the evenings. You first of all insert them into the water just to soften up the skin and the scale, and you bring it out and you start peeling with your knife. Having peeled it and cleaned it up thoroughly, you now put them back into your soup that you are cooking, and when it eventually gets done, it becomes very delicious. And this is how we have been surviving all along. One day, we're able to eat the chicken itself. Thank you.
Even there was a day I was guessing if God can just make the sea to block under 1 hour.
Ice block so that we can march.
So that the sea will just block 1 hour. Let us just march down to Europe.
There's a place where the comrades gather, with Spain in sight just across the water.
We're now making our way to the terrace, the only place where all the Africans converge in order to share ideas, to share the latest gossips that will probably help them in their outward journey to Europe.
They may be here for months or years, trying to raise the funds to pay their passage, calling on relatives and friends back home. Many are hostile to our presence, afraid of surveillance. They risk arrest and deportation at any time.
This is obviously the place where almost every black African sits and see Spain on the far end, hoping that their dream is in sight.
It must be said that not all the comrades are saints. Some resort to prostitution and pimping to pay their way. And I found only a few here who would qualify for asylum in Europe as refugees from war. Most were not from Sierra Leone or Liberia, but Nigeria. Mainly what they were escaping was poverty and blight. The chance they are waiting for also spells grave danger in the stretch of water that gazes back at them each day. This is the new battlefield between comrades and the coast guards. It's no longer on land, it's right here on sea. During the day, the comrades will be waiting, hiding in the bush, waiting, and at nightfall they'll take off from the small beaches in some of these small boats. They'll try to dash through the water, dash across the water, right through into Spain before the guards stop them. At night, if the weather is good and the sea is calm, the terrace is full of expectation.
I have spoken to a lot of people here tonight, but they all seem tense. And that is because the sea is calm. The boats are all going tonight.
They can see the coast guards on their way out to look for the Zodiacs, inflatable boats crammed full of African refugees. The battle went on unseen almost every night I was in Tangier. Sometimes the combatants would return to the boarding houses with reports from the front line.
Hello.
Wow. My hostel is taking me to place to preserve police, preserve January. You understand? Preserve, not be small thing. January food there. You said they catch 50 people, they use helicopter to chase everybody.
What? Sorry, what happened again?
They use helicopter to chase everybody. They caught
Tonight?
Yeah, more than 50 people. Yeah, this night, yeah.
Moroccan
from
military.
Moroccan, yeah. Is that a problem, man?
So were you running? Is that why your shoes are so?
If you can check the time now, it's after 1. Check the time now. It's after 1. I'm supposed to be in Tarifa now. Understand?
How many of you were there? Do you know how many people were caught?
People were caught is up to 50. I should say maybe 50.
What did they use to raid?
They used to raid.
What did they use helicopters or?
Yeah, they used helicopter to trace the second soldier that have already went.
And they caught it?
Yeah. I think so.
One morning I found that Osas, the Nigerian who I met in the bush outside Soita, had made it here. He was almost caught by the police on his first night in Tangier.
Waka, what exactly happened when the police raided yesterday?
We were upstairs, we just heard noise at the background. Boop, boop, boop. Police raiding. All you need to do is find your. You don't have to see the police. Yeah. Because if you see them, they apprehend you. So all we did is jumping down from the story down. That is why I almost fractured my leg. Just take off, run for your life. Like I told you, I said if I get the money as I'm here now, maybe this evening, tomorrow you might not even see me here again. Gone. Just $100 that is stopping me from living. So I have to look around for some time before leaving.
Osas pooled his money with his friend to make sure one of them could get across, and the next day he had disappeared. I did not see him again in Tangier. The majority of the refugees I met in Tangier are here out of choice. They would get little or no sympathy in Europe. A few have lost their right to eat, but most only want a chance to make a life.
Call these guys whatever you may, economic migrants or whatever, but these are guys who have spent years, guys who have spent their last pennies in trying to get a decent education. And now all they want is to give back to society, to fulfill their wishes. I mean, all they want is to live a decent life like you guys in the West. But their societies don't offer them these opportunities. Personally, I won't condemn these guys. I will just wish them good luck.
As the days passed, the comrades did have some luck. The sea was calm and many hundreds reached Spain while I was there. The night before I left, the terrace had an air of celebration. It is certain that some of the people I saw in Tangier will have died trying to cross the water to Spain. But thousands made it alive. The comrades could be seen on Spanish TV every few nights, newly arrived on their shoreline. Some were sent straight back over the water by agreement with Morocco, but most are now in Europe. Many head for Malaga, the biggest town on Spain's southern shoreline, so that's where I went as the final destination on my journey. Here they begin their first world life, starting with nothing searching out possibilities.
Great.
I heard word that the traveler I had already met twice in Morocco had made it to Spain.
Oh, God.